Hey guys, it's Allie. In today's video I have the Zoya Thrive collection for spring 2018. So for those of you who've been with me, you already know the spiel, but I'm going to still go through it. So Zoya is owned by Art of Beauty. They are a cruelty-free, vegan, and tin-free brand. So all of their new releases are tin-free polishes. And Zoya nail polish is also toxin-free. So I always show you the Zoya brush. I think I'm just going to start leaving a clip that I can just keep doing instead of doing that, because it doesn't even, you can't even see it. Anyway, so this is the Zoya brush. It is a smaller brush, more narrow and a little bit thinner, but it holds polish really well. So it's more ideal for smaller nail beds. You won't have to brush as much on the nail. For those with wider nail beds, you will have to use a few more strokes than probably normal, or a few more strokes than you would with like an OPI brush. But still, not a bad brush at all because of the way it holds polish. It holds polish really well. Not too much, not too little. Perfect. Okay, so Zoya did send this collection to me for review, and so I don't have the order information for you. Okay, so this is a 6-piece collection. I'm going to read what the media release has for describing the collection. It says, rich pigmented hues flourish in this new spring collection from Zoya. Experience the emergence of color from a dusty gold gray metallic to a vibrant lilac purple. Included in this collection is also Liezel, a sheer sparkly topper that can be worn alone or layered over other colors. So I am going to show you guys the polishes. They are here. Okay, so this is a very warm 6-piece collection. We have really 4 warm we have 3 warm shades and then 2 cooler shades. These two, the purple and the blue here, are a little bit on the cooler side and dustier side, so they cool things off. But Zoya has been loving these reds and pinks and purples here recently, and they've also been enjoying putting a topper in the collections as well. So that's what the 6-piece collection looks like. Is there anything else? These are priced at $10 a piece on the Zoya website. Let me check Amazon, because they were available on Amazon. Yes, these are still available on the Amazon website. They're $50 for the entire 6-piece collection. If you buy them from Zoya, they're $10 a piece, so I would recommend, if you want all of the polishes, save yourself $10. If you're a Prime member, you'll also save on shipping by using the Amazon link that I'll provide in the description box. It will be an affiliate link. Anything else? Oh, I did want to touch on this because I got this question when I reviewed the Kisses collection about whether or not it's safe or whatever to buy from Amazon, to buy Zoya polishes. From everything I can see, it looks like Amazon is an official distributor of these polishes. I could be wrong, so don't take my word for it. But just looking at the website, and they happen to be out of stock of the collection, but it says order now and we'll deliver when available. They'll email with an estimated delivery date as soon as they have more information. Your account will be charged only when they ship the items. And they are shipping from and sold by Amazon.com. So that just answered our question. Yes, Amazon is an official distributor for Zoya polishes, so you are going to be getting real Zoya polishes. They're probably just waiting for the stock from Zoya. So yes, you'll be safe ordering from Amazon if you want to go that route. So I hope that helps to alleviate those concerns. So I think that's all I have. The descriptions are going to be coming from the Zoya website. If I disagree, you already know I'm going to let you know. And anything else? I don't know. I'm just excited to finally be back into reviewing nail polish. It's been a while. So let's go ahead and jump in. The first polish we are looking at is called Darby. Darby is described as a dusty gold gray metallic. It is an extremely dusty polish. I would describe it as kind of like a stormy sky blue with a bright cobalt blue shimmer. It is very pretty with that shimmer. The shimmer does look a little bit on the violet side at certain angles, but on the nail I only was able to see a cobalt blue shimmer. The consistency of Darby was very normal, beautiful, a little bit streaky and sheer on the first coat, but just completely opaque into 2 normal coats gets this completely opaque. If you're using thin coats, I'll say you might need 3 because it does have the tendency to be a little bit streaky. So if you're, light-handed with your polish, you might have to go to 3, but 2 normal coats and you're fine. The finish of this is not metallic at all. I'm not really sure why they call it a metallic. It just has a shimmer. It's just a cream with a shimmer in it. So yeah, and also the shimmer is quite subtle. It's there, you can see it on the nails, but it is quite subtle. I did want to say that. I rated Darby at 4.5 out of 5 stars. Next, we're looking at Trudith. Trudith is described as a muted wisteria purple cream. I would describe this as a dusty, rich lilac purple cream with rose undertones. It's beautiful. It's almost like a cross between a mauve and a lilac and a rose. It's gorgeous, and it doesn't look very unique at first glance, but I think looking through my collection, I don't have anything just like this. So I will say this one is more on the unique side. Let's see, where am I at? The consistency is quite normal. On the first coat, it goes on pretty even and nearly opaque in just one coat. Just a tiny bit sheer, so I did have to take it to 2, both in the live swatch and in the swatch picture. But it dries down to a glossy finish, and it's beautiful polish. What can I say? I mean, it is kind of right up my alley, I'm not gonna lie, but I rated it at 4.75 out of 5 stars. Our third polish is called Brandy. Brandy is described as a blush pink cream, and I would describe this as a muted salmon rose cream. It kind of has a little bit of salmon and a little bit of rose in it. It's pretty. I'm not a big fan of pink, but this one's pretty. This one's consistency is normal to thick. I think Zoya just really knows how to do these shades that are kind of pinkish, berryish, and rosy. I think that they really know how to do those shades. Tony, Quinn, Jill had great formulas, and this one is another one with a great formula. Now, this one was a little bit, even though it was normal to thick, it was a little bit sheer on the first coat, but it was very even and easily opaque in 2. I definitely see this one getting thicker over time and becoming a 1-coater. So if you're looking for something along those lines, this will be a good choice. The finish of this was glossy, and I rated Brandy at 4.75 out of 5 stars. Next, we are looking at Monroe. Monroe is described as a glamour pink cream. What does that mean? What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. Anyway, I would describe it as a vibrant raspberry pink cream. Raspberry in that it has a lot of rich red tones in it, but it's still a pink. And it is quite vibrant. It's going to bounce off of the nails a lot. I like it. The consistency of Monroe was normal to thick. It's a little bit sheer. It kind of acts like a jelly. So it goes on really even, but it's pretty sheer for me. I needed 3 coats. In the picture, and then I used 2 thick coats in the live swatch. I think most people can get away with 2 thick coats, depending on the opacity of your visible nail line. It just depends on, you know, that. For me, I needed 3 in the picture and then 2 thick coats in the live swatch. Probably should have taken it to 3 in the live swatch as well. Anyway, it dries to a glossy finish, as you would imagine. It's really kind of like a jelly, and I rated it at 4 out of 5 stars. Alright, and next we're looking at Liezel. They describe Liezel as a sheer sparkling topper metallic. I would describe it as a pink to yellow duochrome metallic topper. It is quite beautiful, and I'm not a big fan of toppers. I've mentioned this on the channel many times. I'm not a big fan of toppers, but I've been loving these toppers that Zoya's been putting out. I also really like the one from Sister Chic Lacquer as well. I'll have the video that I did for hers in the description box. I loved that topper as well. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of toppers, but I've been enjoying these types of toppers where you can layer them over dark colors and they really, really come to life. So the consistency of Liezel is normal to thick. I used 2 coats in the picture that you're seeing. I used 1 coat over Ryan and Monroe, and then in the swatch video I did 1 coat by itself. The finish of this is very, very shimmery. It is very, very shimmery, especially if you use this over a dark, dark color. It's really going to bounce off of the dark color that you put it on. So yes, I gave it... So most of the time I give toppers 5 out of 5 because you can just use 1 coat and it's good to go. For this one, I think you get the full effect on 2. So you can stop at 1, obviously. It's a topper. You can stop wherever you want to. But I think to get the full effect of what this polish was going for, this topper was going for, I think you do need 2 coats. So I did dock off half of a point for that. So I rated Liezel at 4.5 out of 5 stars. And the last polish we are looking at is called Haruko. I think I pronounced that right, but I don't know. This one is described as a soft violet metallic, and I would describe it more as a muted lilac with a magenta shimmer. It does have a little bit of a lavender feel to it, and I think it's just leaning a little bit more on the warm side for me to call it a lilac. So that's what that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So yes, I would describe it as a muted lilac with a magenta shimmer. And in this lighting, like in regular daylight lighting, the shimmer does look violet. It looks very purple. So probably depends on the lighting that you're in. It's one of those shifty, because like on this side of the bottle it looks magenta, on the side facing me it looks violet. So it's gonna look, it just depends on how it's hitting the sun as to how it's gonna look. So yes, anyway, the consistency of Haruko was thin. It was the thinnest by far of the 6 polishes we've looked at today. It was extremely sheer on the first coat. It reminded me a little bit of the Kisses, the Pastel Jellies collection. Just very, very sheer on 1, still sheer on 2, and it really only got to about 93–94% opacity on 3 coats. I do think if you're using 3 thick coats, you can get it opaque, but I don't like to wait for 3 thick coats to dry, you know. So, you know, do what you do. The finish of this was not metallic at all to me. It's just acrylic with shimmer. I don't know why they're calling this one and the first one metallics. What's this one called? Darby. I don't know why they call these metallics. They're just kind of creamy with shimmer in them. So maybe they're calling them shimmer metallics, but I think a shimmer metallic is different from a shimmer and different from a metallic. I don't know. Anyway, I think of it as acrylic with shimmer in it, and I rated it at 4 out of 5 stars. Alright, so let's look at the collection again. So this is the full collection. We are going to rate the entire collection for uniqueness, for cohesiveness, for price, accessibility, the performance, and then we're going to come up with an overall rating. If you're new to the channel, that's how we do it. So for uniqueness, I gave this collection a 2 out of 5 stars. It's not super unique. I did think that these 2 shades here, Trudith and Liezel, were pretty unique for me to my collection. The rest of them, I have something similar. I may not have the shimmers of this Darby and Haruko. Actually, I think Haruko, I do have something similar to that. I may not have something exactly like Darby, but the color itself is definitely not even unique to Zoya's line. So yeah, I gave it a 2 out of 5 for uniqueness. For cohesiveness, they look great together, I think. And I think they also are pretty cohesive for a spring collection. Kind of dusty to warm things up. Sorry, kind of dusty to kind of pull us out of the winter and into the spring. And then you have some of the more bright shades for kind of like the heart of spring. So I think that they're cohesive. I would have loved to see a different color palette here. I would have loved to see maybe going along the line of, with these 2 dusty shades, like a dusty green, not like anything that we have. I'm thinking Ireland from, what collection was that from? Ooh, I can't remember what the collection was called, but it was from the collection where everything was really dusty. I'm thinking something green along, maybe a darker green along those lines, to just change the color palette from being so warm to something a little bit more balanced. I think there's a lot they could have done with these last 3 shades here. So I gave it 5 out of 5 for cohesiveness because it does look like a spring collection. It's just not very exciting. I'll put it that way. For price, I gave it a 3 out of 5. $10 per polish is getting up there. Of course, Zoya always has great sales, so I would recommend that you take advantage of that. And if you want the full, again, the full collection, you can go to Amazon and get it for $10 off plus shipping savings if you're a Prime member. For accessibility, since these are sold on the Amazon and Zoya websites, I gave it a 3 out of 5. I can't remember if Ulta carries new Zoyas or not. I haven't been in Ulta nail polish shopping in a really long time. So I can't remember if they're carrying new Zoyas or if they just carry like fan favorites or whatnot, but they used to carry new Zoya lines, so you might even be able to pick them up in there. So I'm going to stick with the 3 out of 5. Okay, so for the polish performance average, it was a 4.42, which is really, really good. And the overall collection rating was a 3.5 out of 5 stars, which again sounds harsh. I think that well, I know the uniqueness pulls the rating down and the price and accessibility pull the rating down a little bit, But, you know, if you're just looking for good quality polish that's easy to use in terms of performance, it's really a good collection for you. So that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that I've answered all your questions, and if not, just leave them in the comment section and I'll be sure to answer them there. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one very soon.